I was going to school. I was going to school. Where do you go when you are sick? Where do you go when you are sick? Didn't we push weekly? Didn't we push weekly? Would post weekly. Would post weekly. Nothing, just look. Nothing, just look. Can you count now? Can you count now? Could they be hydrologists then? Could they be hydrologists then? Questionnaire. Questionnaire. He lived in the city for years before moving to the countryside. He lived in the city for years before moving to the countryside. Should I not live one weekend later? Should I not live one weekend later? Weaken the foundations. Weaken the foundations. He was looking at his younger sister. He was looking at his younger sister. Car in front of me. Car in front of me. That daily incentive? That daily incentive? Is his grandson a mediator? Is his grandson a mediator? My sister is very young. My sister is very young. Should I always choose? Should I always choose? I pour. I pour. He can fix the car himself. He can fix the car himself. Often live. Often live. What is your favorite animal? What is your favorite animal? See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Does it warn you at sunrise? Does it warn you at sunrise? His half-brother was a lifesaver. His half-brother was a lifesaver. How much does this cost? How much does this cost? Change status. Tony, reply now. Change status. Tony, reply now. But during the time we worked, it mostly did the front-end work. But during the time we worked, it mostly did the front-end work. The company had been losing money for months before deciding to lay off employees. The company had been losing money for months before deciding to lay off employees. Were we sometimes? Were we sometimes? This dress is cheap. This dress is cheap. Is my stepbrother binding? Is my stepbrother binding? He didn't answer every day. He didn't answer every day. Should I appeal later? Should I appeal later? Is her stepdad a lawyer? Is her stepdad a lawyer? Even though it's raining outside, I still plan to go for a run. Even though it's raining outside, I still plan to go for a run. Your half-sister was an inspector. Your half-sister was an inspector. He needs to go to the doctor from time to time. He needs to go to the doctor from time to time. We want 4 tickets, please. We want 4 tickets, please. Maybe you should go home and clean up. Maybe you should go home and clean up. Can we feel it next year? Can we feel it next year? You should get well soon. You should get well soon. The librarian should arrive in 2 minutes. The librarian should arrive in 2 minutes. The fish in the river were swimming against the current. The fish in the river were swimming against the current. Should we go to the city by bus or train? Should we go to the city by bus or train? I'm not sure if I should do this, but I'll try. I'm not sure if I should do this, but I'll try. We will not focus. We will not focus. Can't they be aviators soon? Can't they be aviators soon? They think I'm out for lunch. They think I'm out for lunch. Does not forget at dawn. Does not forget at dawn. To understand. To understand. We are playing 2 years later. We are playing 2 years later. Don't you appreciate? Don't you appreciate? Don't they have to mark after 5 weeks? Don't they have to mark after 5 weeks? Is her stepdaughter a cop? Is her stepdaughter a cop? Your aunt was the driver. Your aunt was the driver. Is his stepbrother a farmer? Is his stepbrother a farmer? After 4 days I am not an educator. After 4 days I am not an educator. Should we pause before continuing? Should we pause before continuing? Can wake up. Can wake up. Wasn't he an occasional musician? Wasn't he an occasional musician? Their mother is a barista. Their mother is a barista. They shouldn't say. They shouldn't say. Your friend is the owner. Your friend is the owner. Thank you. Thank you. They may not always paint. They may not always paint. Would reach out. Would reach out. You can take. You can take. I have a great idea. I have a great idea. Do you ship every week? Do you ship every week? I won't watch the movie without reading the book. I won't watch the movie without reading the book. May not take pictures occasionally. May not take pictures occasionally. You have no idea. You have no idea. The house is beyond durability. The house is beyond durability. Fake. Fake. Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? Can you drop me off at the airport tomorrow? It didn't fly 2 hours ago. It didn't fly 2 hours ago. There may not be a hairdresser at sunrise. There may not be a hairdresser at sunrise. Are there grandchildren dietitians? Are there grandchildren dietitians? I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I can do this. I just had a new baby so I'm so tired. I just had a new baby so I'm so tired. Is their spouse a hairdresser? Is their spouse a hairdresser? Was our stepson a football player? Was our stepson a football player? They do not benefit. They do not benefit. While the proposal has some flaws, it's worth considering. While the proposal has some flaws, it's worth considering. Can we create? Can we create? Were our kids golfers? Were our kids golfers? Weren't you the manager right away? Weren't you the manager right away? Is your stepbrother the governor? Is your stepbrother the governor? Then it will not be capped at 1 a.m. Then it will not be capped at 1 a.m. Will they not burn? Will they not burn? Can I use it annually? Can I use it annually? Can you show me where the student body is? Can you show me where the student body is? They may not sit. They may not sit. 1 year later? 1 year later? You have to sit at dusk. You have to sit at dusk. After 3 months we have to convince. After 3 months we have to convince. You did not succeed at noon. You did not succeed at noon. You include. You include. The economic crisis led to high unemployment rates. The economic crisis led to high unemployment rates. His half-brother is a barber. His half-brother is a barber. Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month? Shouldn't there be a businesswoman a month? You shouldn't pull it after 3 centuries. You shouldn't pull it after 3 centuries. I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. I like to go for a walk in the park on sunny days. Gaining weight. Gaining weight. Usually not available for counseling. Usually not available for counseling. We don't talk to each other like that. We don't talk to each other like that. Yes, breakfast is included in your room. Yes, breakfast is included in your room. The design of the new website was professional and user-friendly. The design of the new website was professional and user-friendly. Are you a night supervisor? Are you a night supervisor? He has traveled to more than 20 countries. He has traveled to more than 20 countries. Then you are warned. Then you are warned. Struggle. Struggle. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. When are you working? When are you working? This place is so bright. This place is so bright. Can't they be aviators soon? Can't they be aviators soon? Can't we pass in 2 hours? Can't we pass in 2 hours? The lawyer was late, so I took charge of the meeting. The lawyer was late, so I took charge of the meeting. Would I be a jockey later? Would I be a jockey later? I've supported the cancer charity for 27 years. I've supported the cancer charity for 27 years. Yes, I guess. Yes, I guess. May I have your insurance information, please? May I have your insurance information, please? We go to the mountains for hiking. We go to the mountains for hiking. Can it go after 1 month? Can it go after 1 month? Hi Curtis, do you have any update regarding our issue? Hi Curtis, do you have any update regarding our issue? My cousins are managers. My cousins are managers. Do you like swimming? Do you like swimming? After a century, they become journeymen. After a century, they become journeymen. Your uncle is a businesswoman. Your uncle is a businesswoman. I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. He is married. He is married. You must not appear. You must not appear. Then we can be paramedics. Then we can be paramedics. I'm having a problem with my computer. I'm having a problem with my computer. Is questioning. Is questioning. Shouldn't we like it? Shouldn't we like it? Is her brother-in-law a playwright? Is her brother-in-law a playwright? It was a dark and stormy night. It was a dark and stormy night. Our grandmother was a waitress. Our grandmother was a waitress. Added soon. Added soon. A page is missing. A page is missing. The chef will prepare a special meal for the guests. The chef will prepare a special meal for the guests. Your cousin's governor. Your cousin's governor. I don't want to go to war. I don't want to go to war. Whose bag is this? Whose bag is this? Was her daughter a hydrologist? Was her daughter a hydrologist? Emotional. Emotional. Your cousins were garbage collectors. Your cousins were garbage collectors. What do you recommend? What do you recommend? I see the car and go to the market. I see the car and go to the market. Did you often push? Did you often push? I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my rent. Should not be covered at dusk. Should not be covered at dusk. Can he care? Can he care? Do you have a limit each week? Do you have a limit each week? Seems like. Seems like. Shaved. Shaved. Can I give you some instructions for your medications? Can I give you some instructions for your medications? Wouldn't it connect? Wouldn't it connect? Wait, Tommy. Wait, Tommy. They go to the cinema every weekend. They go to the cinema every weekend. Do I say thank you at 1 a.m. later? Do I say thank you at 1 a.m. later? Gray is often seen as a depressing color. Gray is often seen as a depressing color. I produce. I produce. He wouldn't have choreographed right away. He wouldn't have choreographed right away. Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Is her neighbor a pianist? Is her neighbor a pianist? You should consider all options before making a decision. You should consider all options before making a decision. You did not return. You did not return. Wasn't I chosen? Wasn't I chosen? You are not reliable. You are not reliable. Whose watch is this? Whose watch is this? Will they get off the ship? Will they get off the ship? They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. They shouldn't be sheriffs occasionally. I do not feel good. I do not feel good. Give up. Give up. Didn't we push weekly? Didn't we push weekly? Will it burn? Will it burn? Were his neighbors detectives? Were his neighbors detectives? Don't you normally have to suffer? Don't you normally have to suffer? They must be successful. They must be successful. Always introduced. Always introduced. It would not be besieged after the 5th century. It would not be besieged after the 5th century. He enjoys reading books on history and politics. He enjoys reading books on history and politics. Because my department is English. Because my department is English. I speak a little English. I speak a little English. Your grandparents were welders. Your grandparents were welders. Are they threatened now? Are they threatened now? Private schools usually have higher prices. Private schools usually have higher prices. Can you help me with this task? Can you help me with this task? He was walking his dog when it started to snow. He was walking his dog when it started to snow. Mustn't find out now. Mustn't find out now. Friends since kindergarten. Friends since kindergarten. Will there be a midwife later at 3 a.m.? Will there be a midwife later at 3 a.m.? Was it fear? Was it fear? You rarely get over it. You rarely get over it. Can they coach after 4 nights? Can they coach after 4 nights? Wouldn't he hate? Wouldn't he hate? He likes to do sports. He likes to do sports. The company is looking for a new marketing manager. The company is looking for a new marketing manager. Wouldn't he hate? Wouldn't he hate? It was a great success. It was a great success. Don't you appreciate? Don't you appreciate? Normally you wouldn't turn it off. Normally you wouldn't turn it off. We encountered some unexpected difficulties on the way. We encountered some unexpected difficulties on the way. They were not choosing. They were not choosing. Was my grandson a veterinarian? Was my grandson a veterinarian? The company will hire new employees next year. The company will hire new employees next year. Was his brother a manufacturer? Was his brother a manufacturer? Election results will be announced tomorrow. Election results will be announced tomorrow. We all. Can you help me carry these groceries to the car? Can you help me carry these groceries to the car? Are there relatives nurses? Are there relatives nurses? Does not respond every day. Does not respond every day. Don't we solve it often? Don't we solve it often? Do they have to craft weekly? Do they have to craft weekly? I want to go swimming. I want to go swimming. He had been looking for a job for months until he found a job in his field. He had been looking for a job for months until he found a job in his field. Will there be an illustrator every year? Will there be an illustrator every year? After the 3rd century, you became a ranger. After the 3rd century, you became a ranger. Shall I clean the room? Shall I clean the room? Low fat. Low fat. Wouldn't he choose later? Wouldn't he choose later? Shouldn't they be encouraged? Shouldn't they be encouraged? One, I have a couple of dies. One, I have a couple of dies. He needs to be beaten occasionally. He needs to be beaten occasionally. Shouldn't he be a carpenter right away? Shouldn't he be a carpenter right away? You can be a designer at dusk. You can be a designer at dusk. I won't get it in a minute. I won't get it in a minute. I think we should run them and work to make them work better. I think we should run them and work to make them work better. Your neighbor is a partner. Your neighbor is a partner. Do you want to come with me? Do you want to come with me? Were his half-brothers CEOs? Were his half-brothers CEOs? To reach an agreement, both parties have to make concessions. To reach an agreement, both parties have to make concessions. I can be a housewife. I can be a housewife. Your mother was a postman. Your mother was a postman. It's a 2-week drive. It's a 2-week drive. A company. A company. He had been working for the same company his entire career before retiring. He had been working for the same company his entire career before retiring. You will have lunch with your colleagues in an hour. You will have lunch with your colleagues in an hour. Were we not managing? Were we not managing? Are you working on Sunday? Are you working on Sunday? I will check the doctor. Thank you. I will check the doctor. Thank you. He is an American citizen. He is an American citizen. I'll tie the atmosphere to the August sun to attract you. I'll tie the atmosphere to the August sun to attract you. His aunt is a writer. His aunt is a writer. To solve. To solve. Slowly. Slowly. You should rarely stop. You should rarely stop. I shouldn't play weekly. I shouldn't play weekly. Were they taking? Were they taking? Can you help me with these bags? Can you help me with these bags? The realtor showed us the house. The realtor showed us the house. He was going to force it 4 weeks later. He was going to force it 4 weeks later. Every year they kick a kick. Every year they kick a kick. Should not be connected. Should not be connected. Will they never be receptionists? Will they never be receptionists? We don't show. We don't show. What else can I put in this rice salad? What else can I put in this rice salad? They will host a dinner party. They will host a dinner party. Which is your favorite lake? Which is your favorite lake? Didn't it break? Didn't it break? Colleague is a researcher. Colleague is a researcher. Can you explain this concept to me one more time? Can you explain this concept to me one more time? I don't want to lose my quest for low prices. I don't want to lose my quest for low prices. Should it never be removed? Should it never be removed? Rarely can he not own a house? Rarely can he not own a house? Can it change? Can it change? Can they serve? Can they serve? I continue to sneeze. I continue to sneeze. Wasn't I a monthly barista? Wasn't I a monthly barista? Dogs are weird. Dogs are weird. I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. I am going to the cinema. I am going to the cinema. Are your brothers lawyers? Are your brothers lawyers? Was his uncle a greengrocer? Was his uncle a greengrocer? Was your son a director? Was your son a director? Is he watching normally? Is he watching normally? He was occasionally arrested. He was occasionally arrested. Can we wonder? Can we wonder? Weren't we always masseuses? Weren't we always masseuses? I will try again to pass the test. I will try again to pass the test. The toaster burned my bread. The toaster burned my bread. Worried every now and then. Worried every now and then. Generally environmentally friendly. Generally environmentally friendly. We shouldn't be challenged at sunrise. We shouldn't be challenged at sunrise. I could run. I could run. Is her brother-in-law a hairdresser? Is her brother-in-law a hairdresser? I would like to live in a world where people are kind to each other. I would like to live in a world where people are kind to each other. Is her stepbrother a ranger? Is her stepbrother a ranger? Should it be the announcer? Should it be the announcer? I shouldn't collect right now. I shouldn't collect right now. He is a very reliable person. He is a very reliable person. Didn't have surgery right away. Didn't have surgery right away. I don't notice anything special about the subject at hand. I don't notice anything special about the subject at hand. I think John deserves a promotion. I think John deserves a promotion. I'm going to the grocery store to buy some milk. I'm going to the grocery store to buy some milk. Will we be organized in 5 minutes? Will we be organized in 5 minutes? Don't you notice? Don't you notice? They were having a food fight in the kitchen. They were having a food fight in the kitchen. The administration is responsible for the management of the school. The administration is responsible for the management of the school. The physiotherapist will come to see you tomorrow. The physiotherapist will come to see you tomorrow. They just finished their exams. They just finished their exams. Can you help Mary? Can you help Mary? His stepmother is an astronaut. His stepmother is an astronaut. Tonsil. Tonsil. Don't we carry? Don't we carry? He's going to paint the bedroom. He's going to paint the bedroom. Will he lose every month? Will he lose every month? Can he do groceries later? Can he do groceries later? You should be mayor. You should be mayor. They may be suitable. They may be suitable. Can it create last year? Can it create last year? Suspects. Suspects. We'll replace it at dawn. We'll replace it at dawn. They can always connect. They can always connect. He had been studying all day, so he was tired and needed a rest. He had been studying all day, so he was tired and needed a rest. Wasn't he the captain at dusk? Wasn't he the captain at dusk? He has been painting for hours. He has been painting for hours. 3 I'm going to the mall. 3 I'm going to the mall. Shouldn't they be rangers later on? Shouldn't they be rangers later on? I think we should make them work better and try to make them work more efficiently. I think we should make them work better and try to make them work more efficiently. Flexible. Flexible. Didn't he give notice from time to time? Didn't he give notice from time to time? Wouldn't I come for 15 days? Wouldn't I come for 15 days? I don't think so because I'm king. I don't think so because I'm king. They can injure after a century. They can injure after a century. Do we record these sessions normally? Do we record these sessions normally? He used to paint weekly. He used to paint weekly. 4 I'm going to the amusement park. 4 I'm going to the amusement park. Has he designed it at home before? Has he designed it at home before? He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. I am very happy. I am very happy. Her brother-in-law is an insurer. Her brother-in-law is an insurer. Your niece was a nurse. Your niece was a nurse. Does he fly? Does he fly? Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. Normally I shouldn't be an assistant. His wife was a bus driver. His wife was a bus driver. I always look at reviews before making a purchase. I always look at reviews before making a purchase. Were you open every week? Were you open every week? When the vacation is over, they will be traveling for 2 weeks. When the vacation is over, they will be traveling for 2 weeks. Worked at the school for 3 years. Worked at the school for 3 years. How often? How often? They are not watchmen at dawn. They are not watchmen at dawn. Wouldn't he sing after one night? Wouldn't he sing after one night? Can you point? Can you point? Did it fit 2 nights ago? Did it fit 2 nights ago? We have to be programmers in 1 week. We have to be programmers in 1 week. Could not be born. Could not be born. Temporary. Temporary. After 5 nights they are not salesmen. After 5 nights they are not salesmen. Where are you from today? Where are you from today? One of my friends is named Tony. One of my friends is named Tony. It is mixed. It is mixed. They have never tried spicy food before. They have never tried spicy food before. Our grandfather was a homeowner. Our grandfather was a homeowner. I'm going to vocational high school. I'm going to vocational high school. I have been waiting for you in the garden of the school since morning. I have been waiting for you in the garden of the school since morning. Is my stepbrother a brewer? Is my stepbrother a brewer? Your neighbor is an anthropologist. Your neighbor is an anthropologist. The toaster burned my bread. The toaster burned my bread. Will you drop me off at the train station tomorrow? Will you drop me off at the train station tomorrow? Can I have another slice of cake? Can I have another slice of cake? Where are you going? Where are you going? Scholarship. Scholarship. I speak a little English. I speak a little English. They don't lift. They don't lift. Doesn't it diversify? Doesn't it diversify? Ready immediately. Ready immediately. Your sister was a garbage man. Your sister was a garbage man. Was her sister an apprentice? Was her sister an apprentice? His mother is a trainee. His mother is a trainee. We shouldn't be jockeying after 2 nights. We shouldn't be jockeying after 2 nights. He couldn't have suffered for 1 second before. He couldn't have suffered for 1 second before. I often manage. I often manage. Is his friend a notary? Is his friend a notary? I'm going to visit my grandfather next week. I'm going to visit my grandfather next week. I will see a man who is your friend. I will see a man who is your friend. The sky was a beautiful shade of blue. The sky was a beautiful shade of blue. They went to Europe last summer. They went to Europe last summer. Perception. Perception. Your stepmother is a lawyer. Your stepmother is a lawyer. 2. I don't notice anything special about the case. 2. I don't notice anything special about the case. Can't be a programmer sometimes? Can't be a programmer sometimes? You will need to pay your bills. You will need to pay your bills. Shall we enter? Shall we enter? We were watching the stars when we saw a shooting star. We were watching the stars when we saw a shooting star. They will not be monthly interviewers. They will not be monthly interviewers. Would they monk every week? Would they monk every week? The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. The report concludes that social media can be a valuable resource for children and adolescents when used wisely and carefully. Even though it's hot outside, I still plan to go swimming. Even though it's hot outside, I still plan to go swimming. I need to exchange this euro for dollars. I need to exchange this euro for dollars. We play next year. We play next year. Don't they have to finalize it every month? Don't they have to finalize it every month? I love you. That's why I came to your house. I love you. That's why I came to your house. Our mother was a drummer. Our mother was a drummer. Doesn't say much. Doesn't say much. They didn't call before 4 a.m. They didn't call before 4 a.m. I don't notice anything special about the experience. I don't notice anything special about the experience. We know. We know. Do you have connecting flights? Do you have connecting flights? Did they become a tailor in 2 seconds before? Did they become a tailor in 2 seconds before? Your friend is a wrestler. Your friend is a wrestler. The toaster burned my bread. The toaster burned my bread. Can't we be models soon? Can't we be models soon? Your nephew's caretaker. Your nephew's caretaker. May occasionally light up. May occasionally light up. Sometimes you are a contractor. Sometimes you are a contractor. Will you settle in now? Will you settle in now? He had lived in that house for 10 years before deciding to move. He had lived in that house for 10 years before deciding to move. We go to the gym 3 times a week. We go to the gym 3 times a week. I did some work last weekend. I did some work last weekend. Did they do it every month? Did they do it every month? I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm not perfect. He does handicrafts in his spare time. He does handicrafts in his spare time. I will use my brain. I will use my brain. I'm so nervous for my meeting tomorrow. I'm so nervous for my meeting tomorrow. Then we can concentrate on 3 a.m. Then we can concentrate on 3 a.m. I shouldn't complain. I shouldn't complain. I'm in the next room. I'm in the next room. To worry. To worry. I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? I'm feeling a little lost. Can you point me in the right direction? This is good for me. This is good for me. Which way did he go? Which way did he go? Can't we just lay pipes then? Can't we just lay pipes then? They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. Previously protected. Previously protected. Is her stepfather a poet? Is her stepfather a poet? They tasted the new ice cream flavor. They tasted the new ice cream flavor. She bought a new dress for the party. She bought a new dress for the party. Shall we start the presentation now? Shall we start the presentation now? I'm listening at noon. I'm listening at noon. Should we serve weekly? Should we serve weekly? Your aunt is an astronomer. Your aunt is an astronomer. My son was a ballerina. My son was a ballerina. They can't build every month. They can't build every month. Late. Late. Will he not ride? Will he not ride? They couldn't publish it daily. They couldn't publish it daily. Because I haven't played enough. Because I haven't played enough. You accepted. You accepted. Shouldn't they be Rangers later on? Shouldn't they be Rangers later on? Can it connect to 5 a.m. earlier? Can it connect to 5 a.m. earlier? Does not continue. Does not continue. I cannot reach this page. You? I cannot reach this page. You? When will you go home? When will you go home? Where do they live? Where do they live? Can't he be a night watcher? Can't he be a night watcher? Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? Can't I be an archaeologist at 3 a.m.? The garbage disposal is clogged. The garbage disposal is clogged. They will not encourage. They will not encourage. Shouldn't they find it every day? Shouldn't they find it every day? His stepfather is a preacher. His stepfather is a preacher. She always wears a red dress on special occasions. She always wears a red dress on special occasions. Caretaker of grandchildren. Caretaker of grandchildren. You were suspicious. You were suspicious. I shouldn't be a dentist in 4 days. I shouldn't be a dentist in 4 days. Can't he exist? Can't he exist? Did not explain. Did not explain. I know the boy next to his sister. I know the boy next to his sister. We won't be engineering soon. We won't be engineering soon. He didn't become a journeyman 5 years ago. He didn't become a journeyman 5 years ago. I just got a text from my sister. I just got a text from my sister. He enjoys reading books on history and politics. He enjoys reading books on history and politics. Our parents are botanists. Our parents are botanists. Did you care? Did you care? Can you give more information about the product? Can you give more information about the product? The musician will compose a new song tonight. The musician will compose a new song tonight. Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? Then it will not be capped at 1 a.m. Then it will not be capped at 1 a.m. They're throwing a party on Saturday. They're throwing a party on Saturday. Environmental issues are becoming more important than ever. Environmental issues are becoming more important than ever. He goes to the gym every morning. He goes to the gym every morning. We paint weekly. We paint weekly. Was your half-brother the manager? Was your half-brother the manager? Will I not name? Will I not name? My brother was a nurse. My brother was a nurse. We await your response. We await your response. When the movie is over, I will be sitting in this seat for 2 hours. When the movie is over, I will be sitting in this seat for 2 hours. Can't I be a filmmaker at sunset? Can't I be a filmmaker at sunset? Why do not you work? Why do not you work? Can't you normally specify? Can't you normally specify? Everyone was excited for the concert. Everyone was excited for the concert. Your brothers were cameramen. Your brothers were cameramen. Should I be a surgeon in 4 centuries? Should I be a surgeon in 4 centuries? Sorry, I'm trying to clear my head. Sorry, I'm trying to clear my head. They came to class. They came to class. Can surround weekly. Can surround weekly. Do you always have to inspect? Do you always have to inspect? After 5 nights, we may not be the housekeeper. After 5 nights, we may not be the housekeeper. What is your favorite type of food? What is your favorite type of food? I could tell by the way he was fidgeting that he was nervous. I could tell by the way he was fidgeting that he was nervous. Extrovert. Extrovert. Should not accept. Should not accept. Still, some questions remain unanswered. Still, some questions remain unanswered. Will they not insist? Will they not insist? I can visit. I can visit. Normally immovable. Normally immovable. The presidential candidate gave a speech at the rally. The presidential candidate gave a speech at the rally.